back, guys. It was pointed out to me that I hadn't shown the ship building on this mission, so I'm just going to quickly show the ship design. So it's firepower and protection. I went for the lowest speed so I could get the most amount of battle cruisers. If you go any higher, then you end up taking a lot fewer battle cruisers. So I suppose you could probably get away with around 7, and increasing your engine efficiency maybe. Reduce your weight with turbines, but you'd probably end up with 6 after all that. So yeah, I went with the lowest speed and the lowest displacement just to save on cash. Medium beam for the extra accuracy, although sometimes I do drop it down to the lowest, but it didn't give me an extra battle cruiser and I ran out of weight, so that's why it was at the middle point. Unfortunately the numbers aren't matching up now, but maybe if I exit and go back in it'll match up again. No, it must have been on a different build before they changed some numbers. Yeah, so I use the training to get the correct amount of ships basically, so you just keep putting it up until you go over it. So as you see, I'm on 7 battle cruisers there, 8 battle cruisers there. So I could have put it up to maximum, but I thought I'd rather have the 1 extra battle cruiser and just drop it just below. So it's slightly worse accuracy, but 1 extra battle cruiser. One thing I did notice, I don't know if they've updated it, is if we have a look on here, let's just put it up to veterans. So if you have a look, we've got 76% at 10 kilometers. If you drop this down to the lowest point but still veterans, you've still got 76% at 10 kilometers. So none of the numbers in between the actual ranks make any difference apart from it costs more. So there's no point in going all the way up to 100. You may as well just go up to 84, because anything after 84 and it doesn't actually improve it. Same thing applies to seasoned. You may as well not go up to 83, just go up to 67, and with all of the others as well. So there's no point in going over the amount where you go over the rank, whatever you call it. I can't think what the word is. The threshold, there you go. Yeah, so I took the lowest turbines, because again, if you keep putting these up, it puts the cost up significantly. So the cheaper you can make it, the more ships you can take. These type of things don't improve your accuracy or the damage output, so if you can get away with building a slow, cheap ship, then you may as well get away with building a slow, cheap ship. It's only if the enemy sailing away from you and you need to chase them that you actually need to go for an expensive, fast ship. So always build a slow, cheap ship first. Play the mission. If the enemy don't sail away from you, then you're happy. If they do sail away from you, just rebuild the ship with a bit more speed. Same with the armor. I could have put the armor up, but look, 6 battle cruisers. I've just lost 2 battle cruisers by putting the armor up. It's just simply not worth it. Barbettes, as long as you armor up your main guns, you don't actually need barbettes. Same as all of these. I don't think they're important. don't get hit with torpedoes if you can help it. I mean, even if you put these on, if you get hit with a torpedo, you usually get crippled anyway. So you get taken out of the fight, even if you're still not sunk. So yeah, I think all of these are a waste of money, to be honest with you. When you're on a budget, that is. If you're in campaign and you've got loads of money, then yeah, go for them if you want. But if you're on a tight budget like you are in Naval Academy, there's just no point in going for these. So I always go for the highest of the armor piercing shells. I know you get a worse ricochet chance, but I just think that overall it's just better to do that. Same with super heavy. You get better accuracy, so yeah, you might have worse flash fire chance and stuff, but the accuracy is more important. I always go for the gun range on the propellants rather than the flash fire chance. Again, as long as you've got armoured barbettes, you don't need to worry about flash fire chance that much. And with these, again, you can go for these that lower your flash fire chance, but I'd rather just go for penetration and damage personally. Autoloader 2 is amazing. Autoloader 1's pretty good. The other two are a bit naff. So always go for Autoloader 2 if you can afford it. Now with the rangefinders, if you're fighting at 35 kilometers or more, you're better off with stereoscopic. The only problem is it weighs a lot and it costs a lot. So yeah, it's up to you if you think you can get away with it. Gen radar 3 is only a tiny bit better than 2. 1 and 2 are great. 3's just a luxury, so it's not worth the extra cash. So personally, I mean 6,000 or however much it was, 5,000, it's just not worth it. So I found with the new armor schemes that the devs have created, the exponential increases, you're better off going for a all-round armor scheme where everything's similar numbers than you are overloading on one particular thing. You take less damage overall if you armor everything, so you haven't got any weak points. I have to admit, I really should have put this superstructure up a bit higher. Maybe I just didn't have the cash for it. So yeah, always put quite a lot of armor on all of the different compartments, especially the superstructure, so probably could do with doing that, to be honest. I think, is this right at the threshold? 67's the threshold, is it? So yeah, that's probably a better armor scheme. 97, reduce that slightly. I always put as much armor as I can on the turrets. There's no point in under armoring your turrets, they're the most important part of your ship. And with the calibers of the guns, now I've done a bit of playtesting since. If you're trying to kill capital ships, you want 10%. If you're trying to kill screening ships, you want 20%. So it all depends on what you're trying to kill. In this mission, you have to sink 60% of enemies, and they've got a shitload of screening ships, which is why I went for plus 20%. But there's no harm in going for plus 10% if you're going for capital ship killing. The other thing as well, I've took 4 of the same caliber. Well, I've recently found out that there's a gun firing bug where if you take 4 or more of the same caliber, you'll quite often run into a bug where only one of your turrets shoots every other salvo. So the way to get around that is to take two different types of guns, two different calibers of guns. So let's say, for example, 13-inch. So you could use one of them to be your, one of them to be your capital ship killer. I usually use the higher caliber gun for this. So you can use the higher caliber gun for your capital ship killing and leave it at 10%, and then your lower caliber gun screening ship duty. Let's have a look, see how much that put me over. Only slightly, so I can just reduce the conning tower. Right, so that is what I would say is the best system. Two different calibers of guns if you're using 4 guns or more. 2 calibers at one end, 2 calibers at the other end. So if you're facing bow in, they can both shoot. If you're facing stern in, they can both shoot. And then just fit as many of the secondary guns on as you can. Once again, I've done some testing and I found out that 3.9s are actually better than the 2.9s if you put the range up to full, the length, sorry, and the diameter. So if I was going to rebuild this ship, I'd use 3.9s instead of 2.9s. And that's about it, I reckon. So I hope this is helpful. Take care, guys. See you soon.